Hey everybody, it's Trigger Bar Philosopher. Welcome back out to the channel. Today we've got an exciting episode. We're going to be testing the all-new Trijicon RMR HD. That's right, it's their new red dot optic. It's their next generation of the RMR dot. It's the one that has the circle dot in it. It's got a lot of crazy functions with it for auto brightness and multi-reticle mode. Let's see how this thing performs. Let's get to shooting. All right, so this is what we have today. We have the Trijicon RMR HD. This is their next generation red dot system for the pistol. I have it on my Dagger, and you might say, Trigger Bar, you have a really budget gun with a really non-budget red dot. Yep, well, that's the way it is. And I want to thank a friend of the channel who is letting me borrow this today. This is his personal dot, and he's been kind enough to lend it to Trigger Bar Philosopher for the purpose of shooting this video. So we've got it loaded up on the PSA Dagger today, and we're going to do some shooting with it. Let's try and see if we can get the red dot in the sights. As you can tell, we are downrange. It's kind of just see a blurry. It is the circle dot right now. I don't know if we can get it to focus on. Yeah, you can kind of see the red dot a little. Oh, no, it's still kind of looking like a dot, blurry red dot. At any rate, it is very good in terms of its dot. You can have a crisp 3.5 MOA single dot, or a outer dot, or an outer circle and inner dot like many of the Holosuns had on them. And the EOTech's probably made famous, but this is really a cool looking firearm red dot optic. Well, it looks cool. It seems to function well. It also has some auto brightness features, has a plus sign and a minus sign. It's got a top-loaded battery on the inside. I assume it comes with a tool that allows you to gain access to that. And yeah, so it's got your one-click MOA adjustments. Those are very tactile, as we looked at, or as I have looked at. I'm not showing right now, but I am really happy with this. Another cool thing is that it has actually kind of a little bit of a sighting feature. So if your dot goes down, let's take a look at this. Shoot looking down range. As your dot goes down, you can look on the top of this and get a little bit of a sight lineup. So if your dot is dead, this serves as the backup sight, which is pretty cool. And you can tell why Trijicon makes this for duty purposes. All right, well, we got the dot on here. We got a target downrange. We're a little bit further. I think we're about 12 yards from here. We're going to see how we do. I haven't sighted it in yet, but my friend and I were just joking. We have a 650 papaya leaf optic on top of a 250 papaya leaf gun. Everyone knows you should spend 3 to 4 times on the optic what you do on the firearm, right? It's just the way it is. All jokes aside, the RMRs, right, are one of the only duty rated optic, right? And so it is built tough. All the testing, you can look up Sage Dynamics, a whole bunch of others who've gotten pre-releases. These are hard to get a hold of. A few people are getting them in, but they're on back order. They're very difficult to obtain. So I really appreciate my friend in lending it to me. But it just comes with the Trijicon reputation of reliability. And in some of the early testing that a lot of folks have done, it seems to be that. So we'll do our own. He would not be happy with me if I started smashing it on fence posts and other things like that to test it and doing the 6-foot drop on concrete. So I will not be doing that today, but we're just going to shoot it and see how it feels. All right, well, again, it is grouping a little bit further low and right. Certainly the low could be Trigger Bar, but we have done 0 adjustments to this, and I don't plan to do any adjustments because he sighted this in for his gun. So at the end of this, we're going to pop it back off and put it back onto his gun. So we're not making adjustments with it today. I think it's pretty good. This is about what that Dagger can shoot at 10 to 16 yards, so I would not put any credence into saying, oh, that's a terrible group. I blame the Dagger on that. I can shoot better than that with other guns. I'm sure this dot is way capable of even better than that. But Yeah, it's very crisp, easy to find, very sharp red dot. The dot in the center doesn't have a lot of blooming, even when turned up. When you look in closely at it, sometimes these dots, you see 3 or 4 dots combined or pixels together. This looks like just one very crisp dot in the center. So I'm liking that. Okay, well, we have the Rad 9 suppressor on it. I just want to make a little commentary. This lighter weight 9mm can, lighter than my Dead Air Wolfman, is really much nicer to shoot suppressed. Everyone thinks they want to shoot a handgun suppressed, and it is fun, but it's often a little bit heavy and unwieldy. But if you get the right can on it, it's not as heavy. This feels much better. These are 115 grain MagTech cheapo ammo, so these are not going to be subsonic, but we're going to shoot a few more rounds, still keeping on track of how this dot does and how it feels, but this time we got the can on it. Yeah, that feels super awesome. For the record, I did scoot in. That's why the group tightened up. All right, well, we have some different ammunition. We have some of that Syntech Federal 150 grain. I don't even know if that's going to cycle in this dagger with the Rad 9. But one of the cool things about the Rad 9 is it doesn't put tons more blowback on it. So let's see how it does with the dagger. Whew, feels pretty good. Cycles perfectly. I'm loving that. You know, I really like the size of the outer ring on this, on the RMR. I've seen some, in particular, Siley Optics, the outer ring is smaller. It's like 20 MOA. I think Holosun is 32 MOA. I'll put in the upper right what this RMR dot is, but this feels significantly bigger and allows me to get on. I also like those hash marks for it. This allows me to just come on that a little bit faster if I'm searching for that dot. Obviously, you want to train and get so good so that when you press out your gun, every single time the dot's at the center of your window. You got to keep practicing that, got to keep working on it. But if you're hopping around from gun to gun to gun, optic to optic to optic, I like having that circle dot. We also saw a few weeks back, Mrs. Trigger Bar really likes that circle dot too, for new shooters. There also is that ACSS reticle from Primary Arms that has a super wide circle that's outside of the window. So if you're can't find the dot, it helps you locate it faster. But I think RMR and Trijicon hit this out of the park with this dot on here. I'm just super impressed with the brand reputation of Trijicon. I'll certainly let you all know if this, dies on my friend as he's shooting it. I don't expect that's going to be the case. It's built, the dip in the window is also built to add some structural integrity for it. So again, if you're looking for one dot to rule them all, one dot that you just know is going to work and work and work, I would get this next gen RMR. I think it's already proven with so many options on it, and it has the proven reliability and track record from Trijicon. So let me know what you guys think in the comments about this. Are you willing to spend this much money on a red dot? Or are you going to spend less than 100 banana leaves on a red dot? Those are your options. I think you get more for it. You get more strength, but is that enough of a difference to make a difference? And that's something that you are going to have to decide for yourself. And of course, I'm going to have to decide for myself. So let me know what you guys think. Put it in the comments below. I hope everyone has a great week. Let's get to shooting.